Welcome to the Property and Coffee Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Atkinson.
I'm Matt Skehan.
We'll be fueling your financial future one coffee and property insights at a time.
Helping you navigate the property market like a pro.
Hello, and what a pleasure it is to have your company on the Property and Coffee Podcast, where we're going to be fueling your financial future one coffee and property at a time. I'm your host, Matt Atkinson, joined by my co-host, Matt Skehan.
Thanks, Matty.
And today we've got our guest is Laura Harris. Welcome, Laura. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Such a pleasure to be with you guys today.
It's great to have you on. So, Laura is an entrepreneur. There's two businesses we'll be briefly touching on. She's got a gifting business, Go Above and Beyond, and also one that she's recently stepped into called Gathering Events. We'll be leaning a bit more into her gifting side of the business that works quite closely with a number of different property businesses within our sector. And before we get going, we're going to just touch on what we're going to be covering. So, Laura, just a bit about your journey coming from the UK and settling in Melbourne. We're going to look at how gifting is quite a powerful tool in the property space, a bit around your entrepreneurial journey, and then we're just going to be wrapping up with some actionable items. Maddie, I'll pass over to you to take us away.
Hardest question first, Laura.
Go
Favorite coffee, and where do we find you drinking it? What's your favorite brew, and where do you get it?
I am usually an almond flat white from the Albert Park Deli. And in summer, it's iced. And in winter, I like it extra warm so that I can...
You are from the UK, right? So,
yes.
summer's like you're melting and no, sorry, that's a bit harsh. But no. I think it's very popular. I think iced lattes today would be very popular around. So
loving it.
As we can all see here on the front.
Yeah, it's a bit of branding.
Another one of Melbourne's finest days here, which is fantastic.
So, Laura, originally from the UK, you've worked in... Well, we've got here events, fashion, design. What was the light bulb moment in Melbourne that led you to Go Above and Beyond?
Yeah. So when I first arrived in Melbourne about 10 years ago, I knew one person and one person only in the entire country. And first thing first was to make some friends. And where do you do that? Generally at work. So I got a job. My first job here in Melbourne was actually selling cars at a local Mazda dealership at Brighton Mazda. And
had you sold cars before?
Never.
No, okay.
Never. I did not really know one end of a car from another at that point in time.
That's not really needed,
life.
Is it? Sales.
But look, I had a great team around me. It taught me so much about not only about cars, but also about sales as well. And within that business, every single time someone came to pick up their new car, whether that was new or used, they would hand over a gift box to say thank you. It was done in-house. And when I first got there, it wasn't exactly executed well.
Could have been better.
It could have been a lot better. And having an entrepreneurial background, I had businesses when I lived in New Zealand, which I sold when I moved here. And I always knew I wanted another business, but I didn't want to do the same thing. And so my radar was up for opportunities and to see what I could do. And I looked at that and went, I think there's something
could do it better.
I think there's something here. So I approached the new car sales manager and I said, hey, look, if I use your existing budget, re-engineer this, rework this so that it is a really lovely, beautiful gift. I package it all up and deliver it done so that the rest of the sales team can just grab and go. Is that something that you would like to, is that something that you would go for? And he said, not a penny more, Laura. And I went, I've got it. And that is where Go Above and Beyond started.
Awesome.
And they're a client of 10 plus years. Absolutely love working with them. And the business has grown and evolved from there.
So in your spare time, you're still not selling cars?
No, not anymore.
Okay, cool. Not that you have much spare time. So that was...
Not anymore.
No, that's awesome. So the premium standard. So you built your business around luxury, bespoke. So tell us a bit about that DNA and how you sort of landed on that as sort of fabric of Go Above and Beyond.
Yeah, look, I think the ethos of the business is in the name. And the name obviously is Go Above and Beyond.
It's a great name, by the way. I like it. It's easy to remember.
Thank you. And it is something that has just almost been innate in me from the get-go, really. I just think if you're going to do something, do it well, like execute well. And that is that's a choice. That's a choice that we all have each and every day. If you're going to do something, do it well.
Yeah. You make a lot of choices. You might as well do it properly, right? Have a crack, and so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I know we were just talking off air about, all the different cliches, but if you're going to do something, you have an option to be ordinary or extraordinary. So be extraordinary.
No, I agree with you 100%. So last one for me before we go to Maddie, but so beyond gifting, you also operate another business because again, you've got lots of free time. So it's in the hospitality space. So how do you balance, the hospitality and obviously your corporate gifting? I know you like some horse riding when you've got all your free time and stuff, but how do you balance the juggle?
Yeah, look, my days are full and my days are busy. But do you know what? I get to do this. And this is really living my dream, living my entrepreneurial dream. The way that I run both the businesses is I don't actually technically run them myself. I have an incredible, outstanding team across both businesses. A group of fabulous, fabulous people doing incredible, amazing work, which I am beyond proud of. And it's really just the stewardship of those people. It's the stewardship of looking after them and making sure that they have all the tools and everything and the support that they need to be able to go out and do incredible work and bring the joy across Australia.
So you're steering the ship, you've got the systems and processes and a good team. So sounds simple, doesn't it? Simple, but not easy. So, I'm living that myself right in my business. So no, it's fantastic. So, we love working with you as well. So
amazing. Thanks, Matt. Yeah. And I think the only other thing that I would say on that is it's just a process of constant improvement. I mean, I know for us, we're never done. We'll make an improvement and then we'll have a look at that and go, okay, well, how can we improve that a little bit more? Where are our 1%? And so it's just that constant innovation of process, of system, of team, and of product as well.
You're either growing or you're dying.
Absolutely.
I know it's taken me a while to realize that, but you can't stay still, right? Like you think it's good. It can't stay that way. Like it's you're growing or dying.
You got to start and then continue to build.
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely. So my favorite mentors over in the UK have a great saying that says, if you don't innovate, you evaporate. And that is something that sticks with me every single day.
Where's Kodak?
Is that right?
Sorry, where's Kodak as an example? So this might not be
absolutely.
So like obviously they're not around anymore, right? So like the world's changing. AI is like so some of the brands that are around now won't be around in 5-10 years, right? I think the world's innovating more rapidly than ever. So it's interesting times. So
Yep.
We're gonna lean in a bit more into the gifting space and specifically understanding it a bit more from your perspective. It can be a very powerful tool and part of an amazing customer experience as a customer. So the first one up is the settlements experience. So in the property space, someone's buying a house. It's a very big and also emotional purchase for someone. So being a major life event, it's not just a standard transaction that just happens. And for someone that may not be giving settlement gifts, what does that missed opportunity look like that the business is missing out on?
Yeah, look, you raised such a good point there, Matt. And I think when we're involved in the industry and when we're sorting out financing or buying houses, it's de rigueur for us. It's every single day that we're doing it. But for the people that you're working for, your clients and your customers, it is such a major life-defining moment for them. It can be an end of a chapter. It can be the beginning of a new chapter. It can be a real life-defining, life-changing moment. And I think we sometimes take that for granted because we're doing that each and every day. But for your recipients, for the people that you're working with, it makes a real difference to actually mark that moment in time for them. And what better way to do that than with a gift? And there's certainly a lot of things that go on neurologically for the recipient when you mark that moment for them. And I think that's one of the things that has always been, but it's not fully understood sometimes by people within the industry and within the market, and that's where we can really come in and say, look, we can certainly help you with that. We can help you understand that and explain to you why it is so important, but then also deliver on that for you, because we were talking off air about how busy everyone is, certainly you guys in your roles, and that's where partnering with someone like us to deliver that gifting strategy for you just means that it's done and you don't have to worry about it.
And they also get an amazing experience.
Absolutely.
But let's actually lean into that a bit more. So we just touched on there around how, for example, the psychology behind getting a really a fantastic gift that's a bit more personalized versus, say, a standard hamper. But how's that importance around one, just making someone feel special, but also from a business side of things, you're looking to get repeat business or potentially referred on. What sort of goes through someone's mind when they're receiving one of your personal hampers?
Mm-hmm. There are a couple of different things there, Matt, and let me break those down for you. I think certainly the first one is from the recipient's point of view. It's a real physical, tangible acknowledgement of your level of care in what has been a very often stressful process for your recipient or for your client, and marking that with something that is special, that is something a little bit extraordinary, something a little bit special, something that's perhaps tailored to their interests or into their demographic, can make such a massive difference. And people love doing business with people, and to show that you actually care about that moment in time and marking that really makes them feel connected to you. And then that leads on to them talking about you, them referring you to other people, to them coming back to you when they're looking at refinancing or purchasing another property or an investment property. And that circle just keeps going.
It's good to know. Like you said, right, you want to be, one, good acknowledgements. Whether it's been an emotional journey or they've finally secured also that place of residence, which has been a dream it might be for many years for some people. You're also front of mind and just acknowledging that part of the journey.
Absolutely. And look, let me also touch on the business part of things, which was the other part of your question there. I think as business owners, we understand the cost of acquiring a customer. It is a huge cost, right? Yep. Huge cost. And I think we often underestimate or have underestimated the power of retaining that customer. Yep. And now, certainly when we're doubling down into our business, we're talking about the average lifetime value of a customer. We're talking about being able to have repeat opportunities to be able to sell to that person, or to be able to get another service or refinance maybe a different part of their lifestyle, or perhaps help them with an investment property. And once we have purchased or acquired that customer, real business growth and development is then having that customer within our ecosystem and being able to sell to them multiple times, or being able to help them multiple times. And a big part of that retention strategy is marking those milestones and building that connection and building that relationship. And gifting is such an ideal way to be able to do that, to help then your business grow.
So just on that, you're going to be helping, and I know you help Matt a fair bit as well with his clients, but people might be a bit older, might have families, different phases of life, if you will. Would you be doing a standard gift for everyone, or would you be? How do you look to curate that for the particular customer that's reached that milestone?
Yeah. So we work with a whole range of different businesses and different size businesses. So at one end of the spectrum, we're working with more volume-based businesses. They want something that's really going to appeal mass market. They're often sticking with potentially a smaller budget. They're a volume-based business model. And we're able to put something together that appeals to the family and appeals to the recipient, that then they can almost kind of set and forget and just have that on tap. One of the things to make that a little bit more special is that we focus heavily on quality over quantity within the gifting box. There's no point in gifting a box that's full of things that people are not going to value and not going to
I've
want
got a
in
few
their
hampers,
home.
and the quality of it's like, yeah, it's not great. You know, even my kids get excited mostly, and you know, and then it's not, the quality's not there, right? So like, if you're going to do it properly. I think, as you said, so that's really important. So yeah, I agree.
And it doesn't take
No.
that much more energy or effort to put something that people are going to want and love in their home and have around for a long time into a gift hamper and be able to deliver that on volume for our volume-based clients. Then at the other end of the spectrum, we have someone like Matt who takes a real personal approach to...
Well, my team. I won't take too much credit. So we outsource. Megan and the team were pretty good at working with you. So yeah.
It comes from the top, Matt.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
So where we work together with Matt and his team, his incredible, amazing team, is Matt will send, or let's say Megan.
Yeah, it doesn't come from
because she's
me.
amazing.
Yep.
She is amazing. She will send us a spreadsheet every single month with the forthcoming settlements and just give us a couple of lines about the recipient. For example, a family with young children and a dog just recently moved to Bayside. And Matt and Megan will give us a budget, and then we'll reverse engineer that budget to fill the box with quality items that are reflective of that person. There might be other situations where it is a couple retiring and downsizing, moving from a big home to a small home. So we know that we don't want to give them too much
Give them
stuff.
the kitchen sink, you know, big couch. No, they've already got that.
They've already got all of that. They're trying to downsize. So we'll have a look
We've
at that.
got one of those coming up, actually. They're moving from the 25-year family house to a bespoke sort of off the modern townhouse. So it's they're going to have to declutter a lot. Yeah.
Right. And so the last thing they want to be gifted is more stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at that and go, okay, well, let's do some beautiful consumables that they wouldn't necessarily buy for themselves, that are gift orientated, that they're going to use, enjoy, and value. And it's not going to be, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this? And then there's anywhere and everywhere in between.
That's a good point, right? Because I think we've talked about the stress and anxiety, but I say the 3 M's, right? So mortgage, marriage, and midgets, and we're dealing with potentially 1 or 2 of them, right? Or even 3 of them, right? Because of housing, it's often because of separation potentially, or new partner, or kids, or growing. So like, there's a lot going on. So I think you don't want to. I think you can actually be a negative by getting the wrong gift, right? Like, but I shared with you before, we've had, like, in the last 2 weeks, like a lovely New Zealand couple, like, be really appreciative of like having something with the New Zealand heritage, right? And even clients, like, just acknowledging that, I think is valuable, right? Because obviously we are a people first business, as you know, right? We're not just volume. We're trying to build that quality boutique and bespoke advocacy. So it's a nice touch, right? And so people don't care how much you know to how much you care. So we really pride ourselves on just trying to get to know our clients, and you're a good, you make us look good. So thank you.
Pleasure.
Back to some hard questions for you, Laura. Hard ones. No, these are. So scaling up. What's been your biggest challenge? And so obviously, how long's Go Above and Beyond been going for now? You said
Go Above and Beyond has been going for 10 years.
10 years. Started in Mazda.
Selling
cars.
Started in cars.
That is a podcast in itself. Selling cars to corporate gifting behemoth. No, just
Oh my goodness.
No, but just tell us of a journey. Like, what have you learned? Just in scaling up. And obviously you've got a more recent addition to your portfolio. But what have you learned over those 10 years? Because I'm 4 in Azure, so you've success leaves clues. What have you been doing to be going for a decade, right? So.
Oh my goodness. Look, I think when I first started the business, it was a hobby-esque style.
You had a very tight budget, right?
Side hustle.
The Mazda. It was
It was run out of home. It was the business was run out of
bedroom,
the
almost
house.
A spare room.
Oh my life! I was literally talking to a friend about this morning.
You probably would have had stuff everywhere, I imagine, because you.
Oh man. Seriously, it was embarrassing. They would have made TV shows about people.
No, it wasn't hoarders, was it? It wasn't hoarders?
I mean, there was a stage before, you talk about scaling, right? But it got to a point where there was stuff everywhere. Like, I literally could not have people around.
Let's meet at the Albert Park. So let's go to the hotel. Let's go to the cafe. Anyway, but let's not come over.
Exactly.
You had a warehouse.
I had to turn sideways and walk down the corridor of my house. There was stuff everywhere. Like, luckily there was an 8-foot wall outside my house, and then a veranda over the top, so I could tuck things that weren't, perishable and that could be kept kind of outside a little bit. Behind this wall, because it was next level. And then it was at that point, which happened to be during COVID, actually, that then I moved out of there and into a warehouse.
So you moved in COVID?
Yes.
Okay.
Moved
Great
in
time.
COVID.
Great time to move, yeah.
Yeah, great time to move. Perfect time to move. And then it was really just about building.
So you got your house back?
I got my house back. Got my house back. That was brilliant. And then it really has just been a slow, steady process of building team, of building systems and processes, of building relationships as well. And there are times where I wish I could just do everything in a finger snap and do it super quickly. But it's one foot in front of the other.
No, great. I think it's a great story, right? For anyone, no matter what they're doing, right? Like, there's this persistence, and it's like Amazon started in the garage. I love the Diary of a CEO. Stephen Bartlett's podcast that started in his bedroom, right? So like this. I think the story, you got to start somewhere, right? And it's never perfect. I think we talked earlier, progress over perfection, right? So I think that's an inspiring journey. So power of local. So I know obviously you live sort of in the Bayside area, obviously as a lot of POMs or from the UK do, right? Because why wouldn't you live in the dreary, dark? You come to Melbourne for the Saffers, mate. You come here for the beautiful beaches. I see you regularly at the Mentone Beach and living the dream. But why is that so important to you to sort of hero the local produce and some of those bespoke and how do you, I suppose, support the local economy in what you do?
Yeah, look, we love to support local, and we have some incredible, amazing businesses in and around Bayside, not only businesses but artisans as well of their craft. And where we can, we love to support local. I think when people are moving into an area, so the recipients of your gift, it's nice to tell a little bit of a story and include something that is a local touch. And our suppliers absolutely love it as well. It's a way for them to be able to get into.
It's a win-win, right? Isn't it? Like 100%. It's exposing it to a new market, right? Like, as I said, it's
yeah. Oh, I mean, even yesterday, I was up in Sydney talking to some suppliers, and they said, "Oh my goodness, we love hamper companies because you do a lot of our word of mouth for us. You're introducing our products in your hampers to recipients that we might never have really been able to reach." So yeah, we love it. So it's a really good way to support.
Hopefully, they look after you with some good rates on their products. So yeah.
I mean, look, we just love what we always say yes to nice rates, but it is such a pleasure. I mean, we're all in business, cool. and sometimes it's hard. And so where we have an opportunity to be able to support local, to keep that circle going round, we'll do anything and everything that it takes to be able to support really good local businesses doing great things.
No, we love it. I think we're all in community focused roles, right? And so it's important to give back to the community that supports us, right? So I think it's fantastic. So last one for me before I hand over to Maddie. So advice for people who, like, in side hustles, more and more common word these days, right? Obviously, cost of living and stuff. You've gone from corporate. I think there's more and more sort of changes in a corporate. Corporate's not what it was. Work from home. But any advice for people who have a dream or a vision? You've obviously you've obviously gone from where you are. You've told your story. It's pretty inspiring. Any words of wisdom for the people?
Yeah, look, I mean, how long is the podcast? I could talk for hours on this.
We get the condensed version,
okay.
Laura. So
I'll do one key takeaway. Look, I think, interestingly, I don't think business is for everyone. It is hard, goddamn work. And so many people will say, "Oh, you're so lucky, Laura. You." And don't get me wrong, yes, I am. But Jingos, behind the scenes,
the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Right?
I tell my son today, he had swimming carnival. There's no luck, right? If people know how hard you work, and people see the grind, like as you said, it's hard.
It's relentless,
and you get punched in the face a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that it takes so much to grow a business. I think there are two aspects of it. And even to touch on one of your previous questions, oftentimes we start a business because we're passionate about something or we love something, right? And there is doing the do of your business.
Technician, yeah, so different.
Right? And then there's actually being the steward of a business and having business acumen and business skills, and then when you have a team, the leadership skills. And so it really as you scale and grow, it becomes less about doing the thing in your business as opposed to stewarding the team and having that financial control and having the responsibility of the people and growing people's careers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that is quite a far step away from delivering a gift hamper, right? Or delivering an event. But that is part and parcel of it. And you know, I often say...
So what made you take the jump? What made you jump from... So you came over here, immigrated, it's a big thing. And then obviously you're selling cars, which yeah. So I wouldn't be good at selling cars either. I don't know much. But then what made you do what you did?
Look, I wish I could pinpoint one thing. I think...
There's never one thing, right?
No,
like
there's
it's
never
a
one
multitude
thing.
of factors. It's like anything, but you know, I don't know if it was a tipping point or you said it had the entrepreneur in your blood, but
yeah, look, I did. My grandfather was an exceptional businessman. He had a fabulous business back in the UK back in the day, kind of post-war, and he was a great inspiration growing up, and probably even more so when I reflect on what he did and reflect on what he was able to do, rather than, you know, he passed away, 25 years ago. And so I didn't really have the opportunity.
Very young then, Laura. Very,
Thanks.
very young.
Thank
But no, my grandfather's similar. Like he passed away when I was 19, and I think he's had more of a mark on me than I realized. Like at 19, you don't know what to ask right of business. Like you
had no idea.
You have no idea, but then you reflect and he's self-retiring, he's 50, like he's a builder, so there's you share, it's travelled and but you don't appreciate it until at 19 you don't know much, right? Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
You think you know everything.
You think you know everything. You think you know everything, but you do not.
You
so
do not.
as you get a bit older, you get a bit wiser. So.
Yeah. And look, I've been lucky, but also, as you said,
sure, you
make
work
your
pretty
own
hard,
luck.
Laura. I know you, Laura. And sometimes when I get an email from you or whatnot, it's you put in the hours.
Yeah, you do. And look, the other influences have also been being around like-minded people, being around other business owners, and when you almost have, I have that as inspiration. So I go, gosh, if that person can do that, and if that person can do that, maybe I can do that. And it's been a journey, and I continue to absolutely love it every single day.
Thank you. We've got a couple of questions in closing. So first one is, if someone in the property space, they've got a client that's closing a multi-million-dollar property and they would like to mark the occasion, what's going to be that number one thing you put in that settlement or gift box that you're sending off?
Yeah, look, my first question would be, tell me a little bit about the person.
I know.
Get them
Tell me a little
I love
bit.
that as well. You got to ask
about the
questions. You
person.
don't just. You got to know. That's.
Tell me a little bit about the person.
What's your favorite thing at the moment?
My favorite thing at the moment is tableware and serveware.
I think that's appealing. I'm not as excited, but I know my wife would love that. So I think that's I think it's good.
But you'll enjoy all the beautiful, gorgeous food that's in it that everyone's prepared for you.
Well, I'll get in trouble for saying that, but yes, I do less cooking at home. So, but yes, be careful what we say here, Laura. Getting me in trouble. So I'm just going to let you back to Maddie. I'm not
going to play to your strengths.
I'm not.
Mate.
Yeah, exactly. I was on the barbecue.
Some of the cookers, some of the eaters.
100%, mate. Got to sample the goods. Yeah.
There you go.
So
But you've just told me that you just mentioned the word barbecue. Right?
He's from South Africa.
Well, here are some other
we
things.
go by
that you put
bra,
together.
but yes,
Bra.
barbecue is more. I think
Aussie words
sort of fits the standard. Yes.
There you go. So if I was preparing a gift for you, then we'd certainly have some things that you can use or consume in and around a barbecue situation, because that's going to appeal to you personally.
That's it. And look, my birthday just passed, and I didn't get a gift from either of you, so I'll look out.
I see a message. I think.
Note to self, man.
No, that's good. And So maybe just to end off, and we'll share your details as part of the podcast as well. But if someone's looking to get in touch, what's the best way to reach out to yourself if they want to understand what to access some of your products or explore a bit of a gift partnership? What's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, get in touch with us via email, laura@goaboveandbeyond.com.au. Our website is goaboveandbeyond.com.au, and we're on all the socials as well.
Perfect. I mean, I've hopped on, Maddie, I know you would have also been across some of the gifts, so it's a great way to see, obviously, it's a vast range of products, but also I'm sure get in touch and you'll be able to get a bit more direction in terms of what you're after.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today and sharing a bit about your journey. And obviously what's in the pipeline. So hopefully if we have you back on at some point, we'll hear a bit more also around gathering events and how both businesses are progressing.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
If you would like to keep receiving property insights and golden nuggets from our guests, please do follow us and you'll get the latest episode released on a fortnightly basis.